Hey, welcome back to Yes Girl. Today, we're talking about the kind of glows that cannot be filtered. Your real, deep, unapologetic shine. We're diving into self-care routines, period talks, and why glowing up is way more than your facial marks. Because the real glow up takes care of your body, your mind, and your future. On today's episode, we have a very wonderful guest. We're talking about the amazing, versatile, dynamic Naya. Welcome to Yes Girl, Naya.
Hi, thank you so much. You know, when you started describing the person, I was like, who is she? I want to meet her. Hi, I'm happy to be here. I'm super excited.
Welcome to Yes Girl. Well, today I'm very passionate about today's episode because personal hygiene is something very important to us young adolescent girls, because on a daily basis, a lot of things are happening in our bodies. No week in a month is the same for any girl.
Yeah,
this week comes with something. Another week you're smiling. The next week
you're feeling something that you don't understand.
You don't want to talk to anybody.
It's always one
and
thing.
then while all this mood swings and everything is going on, your health, your personal hygiene is also very important. And so I would like girls to know that self-care is not just aesthetic.
For sure.
It's about your hydration, your sleep, the very little things. We don't need a luxurious vanity to know that you're taking care of yourself. Little things like drinking water. My friends know. You cannot see me outside without a bottle of water. My classmates come to class banking on my 1.5 liter bottle of water because they know that
I like
always have
that
water.
these days a lot of girls are actually seeing the benefit of water, of hydration. Those with their Stanley cups. There's always one thing. There's always one thing or the other. And one of the most important part of self-care is taking care of your menstrual health. Especially as girls, like your menstrual hygiene, your menstrual health is very, very important because it comes with a lot of things. It comes with pain. It comes with cramps. So some girls might not want to, for example, get up that morning because of the pain. So you try not to neglect your health, your hygiene, at the same time feeling those ways that you're feeling. A lot of girls feel like their menstruation or their period is gross. Periods are not gross. I remember when I was in secondary school, whenever it's time for Ramadan, when we're fasting, we the girls always starve ourselves. When we're on our period, we starve ourselves so that people would not know that we are not fasting. Because the only reason why we would not fast is when we're on our period. So it is that hated. It is that fear that we have to literally starve the whole day, pretend like we're fasting like every other person, just so people would not know that we're on our period, because we saw it as that much of a shame, something like you're unclean, you're not pure anymore. So we need to start normalizing period conversation. Is your body doing its thing? Your exactly, and it's even very necessary. It makes you healthier. Actually.
I think that comes from education as well, where both parties, I think when we're educating young people about periods, it shouldn't be just men or just women. Rather. Men need to be educated as well. Because I remember in high school, if a girl needs a pad, you're sneaking it. You're like, why? I need to be able to hand you a tampon out in public because it's not a weird thing. It's not.
We didn't choose it for us at all.
This is such a normal thing, right? So I think it comes from educating the boys as well to know that this is normal. This is how you support a girl on her period. This is how you can be helpful. It's just essential. It's the basics. If everyone is educating themselves as they need to be, then it will be okay to have those conversations. People will be comfortable or speaking on those things,
about their period and everything.
Exactly.
Another part of this menstruation, this period I wanted to talk about is the issue of pain, because some girls feel so much pain that they can't even function. For example, I don't go to school when I'm on my period. The whole duration of my period, I don't go to school. I don't leave my room. They bring food for me to my because of how painful it is, and not just pain. How my body feels. Like I don't feel like myself. I feel ugly. So I don't want people to see me when I'm on my period. I just want to hide and isolate myself. So do you think like taking these painkillers, is it like very healthy? Because the pain don't make some of us function properly. Yes.
So the thing is, obviously, painkillers can be addictive. The type of painkillers you use are also very important. And one thing about painkillers is if you're using paracetamol, you're using just general analgesics, your body gets used to it, and then your body becomes so used to it and immune to it that
drug abuse.
Exactly. So I do think that if as any girl or woman, if you're feeling extreme pain, you actually need to go to the hospital, because that could be a sign of any other thing. It could be PCOS, it could be endometriosis. There's so many things that extreme pain could be. And again, it comes with the education, where women are not necessarily, we're not educated to know that. We're just like, okay, this time go and hide yourself, you're in pain, deal with it. Take a painkiller. Just deal with it, power through. Are you not a woman? But I think even if it feels like a little too much, you need to get to the hospital, you need to speak to a professional. And if they then tell you that, actually, you know what, normal. This is fine, this is how you can manage it, then you're not just going to the pharmacy and buying things and prescribing, abusing drugs. You know, you get the help.
Because like when I'm on my period, the pain doesn't really last long. It's usually the first day.
Same. Oh my God, same.
For like 6 to 10 hours. It's not even the whole day.
Yeah.
But I know that between that 6 hours, I can't move.
Yeah.
My legs are
so after that, you're fine throughout the duration.
Yes.
After that, how does it feel to be God's favorite?
How does it feel? Well, there are people who have painless periods.
Like, my mother has painless periods. So when I started having, because at first I didn't used to have cancer. When I started having it, she was like,
Exactly. My mom did the same. She was like, what's going on? It was not like this. So what's going on? Who did you take this
I literally can't function. I feel like I have very little pain tolerance. So maybe that's part of it. But I can't function. I don't want anybody to talk to me. If you look at me a certain kind of way, I'll face like, why are you looking at me like that? I'm literally a completely different person when I'm going through those stuff.
And another thing I think is important is, when talking about personal care, is sleep.
Okay.
You need sleep for your brain to function effectively, for memory. Those of us in school, we need to sleep. I know myself. 4 hours is my peak if I'm going to study. 4 hours. People will say, you came out, you're going back inside to sleep. I'm like, should I sit down here with people and be doing 10 hours? It's good to know yourself. Because if I go beyond 4 hours, I know I'm deceiving myself. Nothing is going to... I just need to sleep. The moment I sleep, I'm recharged. And so sleep is very important.
About this conversation of sleep, I remember one experience I had. I was preparing for an exam, a very, very important online exam. And I literally studied up to 14 hours at a stretch. And when it was time to take the exam, my eyes were not opening. Like, I was sleeping. And I knew I was sleeping. I was trying to stay awake, but I couldn't. Like, your body just shuts down. So when you don't sleep. Your body takes it. Exactly. It just shut down.
Issues of people happening? Sleeping off in the exam hall.
This thing you said literally happened to me on Saturday. Wow. I had to stand up in the exam hall. I was like, you know what? They had to get me, they got me gum. I was like, I'm sleeping.
I'm sleeping. Like, you know you're sleeping, but you can't control that you're sleeping.
I couldn't even believe it, because I was like, all this to come and sleep here.
And then in secondary school, when I see people who sleep in exam hall, I used to say that they are very unserious. How can you say that? So I didn't believe it was happening to me.
You don't know what to write.
I didn't believe it was happening to me. Like,
oh my God. Setting boundaries. This is not boundaries of... This is fence. This is a fence about your body. What you eat, what you apply on your skin, a lot of things. All these things are very important. The amount of drugs you take. There are some girls who literally just down antibiotics like sweets. Any small feeling, they've taken antibiotics. They're antibiotic loads. And taking drugs can build resistance. The kind of food you eat and a lot of things. Yeah, this is really, really important.
So in terms of setting boundaries and self-care, I want to bring you back to something you said, that self-care is not luxury living. It's not like this one time you go for this weekend getaway, you go to the spa, and that's it can be that, but that's not all it is. I think self-care is, or not that I even think, I know that self-care is a daily decision. It's something you're doing every single day. So it's the physical, taking care of yourself. You brush your teeth, you have your bath, right? But it's also the decisions you make every day, right? So I'm going to work today, but I'm going to decide to have lunch. And when you guys start 9 to 5, you know how hard it is to have lunch. It's such a basic thing, but it's like, I just want to have lunch. The quality of my life at work changed when I started having lunch, which is just 2 weeks ago, by the way. I've been working for years now. Really. It shocked me as well. I was like, wow, I'm not as cranky. Exactly. I didn't know this was a thing. Wow.
An angry man.
I was an angry babe, And so it's the decisions you take on a daily basis. It could be as little as having lunch. It could be the people you let into your space. Right. So there's some people that just drain
another part
you.
of self-care is the kind of things you listen to, the kind of movies you watch.
The kind of content you consume.
Yes, very.
The type of content you consume.
Yeah.
When I say curate your social media experience, curate your space, curate your music, curate the movies you watch, because it's very important, because the type of things you see, right? I'm all for the girlies that love horror and true crime, right? Love that. But you see,
it affects who you are. Like
it's cool, but like it's also stressful. Maybe because when I watch stuff, I actively feel the things that people there are feeling. So as the baby's getting, she's panicking. Me too, I'm panicking. I'm driving in Lagos. I panic enough. That's enough for me. That's actually enough for me. I don't need any more, right? So it's an intentionality towards your day. I think that's what self-care is. And setting those boundaries to say, what am I letting in my space? And it's one thing to set the boundaries, enforcing it, not just for the people around you, but for yourself. So if you set a boundary that, okay, I want to live a healthy life, and that comes to the food I'm eating, right? You yourself, because sometimes you are the one that wants to break your boundary.
Exactly, most times.
I always do FACTS, FACTS, focus on what you can see around you, articulate, but the S is sleep. And there's times in my life where I couldn't go out for a run, and I would feel like I failed that day. Like I didn't take care of myself. But not going and just doing what I had to do that day, that was a form of self-care. Like ticking off the things on my to-do list and just sleeping was its own thing, right? So it's never like every day. It doesn't look the same for everyone, and it's not the same thing every single day. It's finding a balance where I may have exams and I may not be sleeping my full 8 hours during this period, but then I'm going to catch up on that, right? I need downtime, right? So there may be peak periods at work, but then you need to have your downtime to recuperate. What the challenge usually is, and what leads to burnout, right, is when you're doing that back to back. There's no downtime. It's just up and the up and the go and the go.
Let's talk about hydration. Because you've been saying a lot about sleep, and I feel like they go hand in hand.
For sure. Let me say first, I said I run. If you are running and you're not drinking water, you will collapse.
Exactly.
Let's just leave it like that. If you're running, you're not drinking water, you will collapse. Because it's good for your skin, number one. Like,
to detox.
Like, it's detoxing your body. One thing is, you can never go wrong with water. You drink water, that it's better. Every single thing, everybody's like, there's a downside to this. If you drink too much tea, if you drink too much matcha, but you see water, there's no downside. You drink it, you be happy. Yeah. Right? It's refreshing. It's good for you. It does everything you need it to do. Body,
due to the activities going on, a lot of waste products are being produced. And then water is just, it moves everything. Everything.
And on a constant basis, your body is ingesting all sorts of rubbish, from the dirty air to the everything. There's all different kinds of negative things entering your body. So you need to clean your system, and water is really the best way.
So now that you're doing all the skincare and drinking all the lemon water, what are you doing for that part of your body that nobody sees? The HPV vaccine is literally the smart girl skincare and self-care for the future. Glowing up literally means growing up, and that's your big flex.
So we asked some girls about their self-care routines, and here's what they had to say.
And what makes me feel like my best self is when I'm writing a book.
What makes me feel like my best self is doing things that makes me happy, not having any compulsion, not living for some people's standard, just living according to my own simple standard and just simple life.
What does your self-care routine look like?
There's no specific thing. It's just like doing things that make me feel comfortable, that I enjoy doing.
Personally, I don't have a self-care routine, just my normal bathing, because I've not really have the funds to go for skincare.
So you're just cool with the normal simple girl lifestyle like me.
Yes.
How do you take care of your health, like your body and your mind?
Okay, first of all, for health, eating adequate diet, first of all, and going for checkups. At least prevention is better than cure.
I always say that.
So here's the truth, sis. The best glow up is the one that lasts, not just for pictures, but for you. And that means eating right, sleeping right, eating your vegetables, and protecting your future. Like saying yes to the things your body needs, like the HPV vaccine. So keep growing, keep glowing, and keep choosing you. See you guys in the next episode.